As an 18-year-old boy, I was left alone behind in Germany with Tourette's, with everyday worsening Tourette's, and a broken up girlfriend. My parents moved 2019 to the United States and left me alone in Germany. The situation was worsening every day. I became letters from the student department where people complained about my Tourette syndrome, that I was screaming, I was shouting, I was making noises. People complained about this, and I was so close before being thrown out, banned out from the dormitories, from the student dormitories in the city I was living and studying in. When I was going out in the town, which was in the Lower Saxony area in Germany, people were recognizing me as the boy who was always making sounds and the boy who everyone was afraid of. I couldn't even make a step outside, and people were looking at me as the criminal because everyone was afraid of me. Why is this guy making weird sounds? And I couldn't find peace inside of me because I don't wanted to offend anyone, because the only thing which was inside of me was my Tourette syndrome, my vocal and my motor tics. Nothing I was doing was against someone. In that time, my girlfriend broke up with me. It was 2020 in August. So this made the whole situation even more harder. I was completely alone in Germany, had literally no one. My sister back then was living hundreds of kilometers north of Germany. I had ticks. I destroyed my whole dormitory. I destroyed my faucets. I destroyed literally the whole walls. Everything looked completely horrible. One thing that happened was at the end of 2020, it was like November. My parents called me one day and asked, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I was explaining them everything because they knew something is going wrong with him. Something is going wrong with him. I told him about these letters I was getting from the student dormitories. They told me, stop, something needs to change. So my dad stopped work here temporary, and they bought tickets to Germany. They told me, "You're coming with us." And the world broke completely down for me. I couldn't imagine to leave Germany. I couldn't imagine this. And it was kind of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my whole life. Imagine you live 14 years in the country, build your whole life there, and now because of your medical condition you have to leave the country just to get your Tourette's just in place again. This happened like in 2 weeks. My dad bought me like a ticket to Chicago, then to San Antonio. I packed all my things, thrown out everything out of my dormitory, like literally everything thrown out of my dormitory, like everything. We placed everything in the car, drove it to like a dump, paid all the debt I had, packed my backpacks, stepped in the train, drove to the airport and left Germany. 10 hours, I placed foot in the US, and then the whole story here began.